evening. Good evening. Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Listen, special thank you to Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay, baby. We hit over 100,000 members this week, and I am super excited about that. So thank you all, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. Listen, you all have been rocking out with me since day one. Thank you so much. Now, some people may say, 100,000, but how many people act? Well, I would like to let you know, burst the bubbles. We have about 85, almost 90% active members in the group. Yes, because we cracking like that. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Listen, thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot, 30 and Up doing us, Tyson Smith, the Real MVPs, Pit Life, 180 Real Talk Chicago, everybody that rocks with the J Spot. Guys, I really appreciate it, because without you all, there's no need for me to sit here and run my mouth. Well, let me look. Let me stop lying. I'm going to still be running my mouth. Whether you listening or not, I'm still running my mouth. Listen, because guess what? I say good stuff. I talk to myself when I'm at home, and I be like, when you live by yourself, sometimes you have to talk to yourself so that you can get some answers and so that you can bounce some ideals off. And who better to talk to than yourself? Because guess what? You are right. Okay. Who is the best person to get advice from? What they always say, look at the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror, and I get that advice. So, guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. Guys, we're going to talk. Listen, we have a couple of celebrity hot topics on tonight, and then we're going to keep it moving. But let's just, what are we doing today, you all? As I'm scrolling through social media, and here it goes. I'm looking through social media. You all, listen, I'm going to say this, Sexy Red and your team, you all have to do better, okay? You have to do better. There is no way that you need to be on social media letting people know that your private parts have an odor. Listen, why everything, the world does not need to know everything. If it does, you did the right thing. Go to the doctor. But are you really surprised that you have an odor if you're really living the type of life that you speak of in your lyrics? You know exactly why you have a fungus among us. You know exactly what is going on down there. You know that whatever it is, you know that it needs a prescription. This is what you do know. You know that it needs a prescription, and you know that you need to knock it off, and you know that you need to stop spreading those type of messages, because it's irresponsible, for one, and it's reckless, because you have all of these young people looking up to you. They admire the things that you're saying, and you're not telling them the right thing. So maybe I'm going to look at it from this standpoint. Maybe you were giving that as a PSA to let them know, girl, if you smell something down there, you need to go to the doctor. Maybe, listen, I'm going to try to look at it from that standpoint. And if that's the case, then okay. Okay, you saying, okay, listen, I'm telling them all this reckless stuff. They're down there doing it. So now I have to let them know what happens as a result of living this type of life. Okay, if you're doing it for that reason, then uh, okay. But listen, there's a way, as they always told us, there's a way to say everything. There's a way to do everything. And the way you, the way it was put out there, I'm just like, who child, I don't know. Like I just don't understand. I don't understand like what the entire problem is. Like I promise you, I don't know. But we have to do better. So it's like if you're gonna say something like that, we got to find a better way to say it. We got to find a better way to do things because everything should not be said. I'm just going to say it like that. We don't have to say every single thing does not need to be said. And that's just going to be that. Now, speaking of everything doesn't need to be said, here's another example of what really does not need to be said. Now, listen, we have Shawnee, now she's Shawnee Henderson, but Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife. Now, I thought that this was very tacky. I thought it was very unnecessary. And I just thought that this is a good example of listen, we have to, just be mindful of what you're saying. Like, does everything have to be said? Like, I just have to stand on that. Does everything that comes up, do we have to say everything? So she went on to say that she don't think she ever really loved Shaq. And when I read that, I'm just like, okay, listen, you all have been divorced for umpteen years. What was the purpose of saying that? Like what okay, so like why did that need to be said? What was the entire purpose of that? You don't think that you ever loved him. Okay, well at this point, does it really matter at this point if you thought that you loved him or not? Didn't you divorce him? You guys divorced years ago. So now I feel like at this point, anything that's being said after the fact, it's just like it's messy. It's really messy. Like, what was the purpose? Although you're writing a book and whatever the case is going on, you got kids with this man. You got like 1,000 kids with this man. And to say something like that now, all these years later, I know what it is. It's just drumming up drama so that you can have something to sell books from. And I get it. But like, can we find other things to and other creative ways to market our business and do what we have to do without like man like slamming other people? Like now you're going on this slam fest. And maybe listen, maybe she let Shaq know that because he late a day or so later he came back and he made a tweet and he said, you know what, I can see why she probably would not love me. So maybe they are in cahoots with it. So if that's the case, then cool. Okay, great. Y'all got a great marketing technique. But if this was something that you just said, because maybe it's something that you really felt. But the old folks used to tell us everything that come up should not come out, which means that everything you think about, everything that you may have a feeling about does not need to be said. Like everything doesn't need to be said. And we got to learn and we got to do better. Like, oh, well, I feel like this. Okay, well, get down on your knees and pray to the Lord and tell him how you feel because he's the only one that can help and change you. Some of this stuff that we feel, we don't need to repeat it to people. We just really listen. We don't need to repeat it to people. So listen, just get on your knees if you got something that you feel. I'm feeling this way, and I'm listen. Tell the Lord. He's the only one that cares. So again, let's be mindful of what we're saying. Let's be mindful of how we're moving. And again, if the marriage, the relationship, or what have you, if it's over, okay, great. It's over. Let's do that. Let's move on. Let's let it end and let's let it be what it's going to be. But there's no need for us to say all these negative things about each other. So it's just like, let's keep it grown, let's keep it moving. Hey, pretty Tasha. Hey, Peterson. How you guys doing? But what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that that was necessary? Like when a relationship is over years later, especially years later, and especially when you have kids involved, do you think that it's wise to slam the other parent? Do you guys think that that's a wise thing to do? Like go on or express your negative feelings. If you was feeling some type of way, I'm not saying don't feel some type of way because we have every right to feel whatever type of way we want to feel. We have that right to do that. But what I think that is kind of immature sometimes is again, when we go saying everything, everything does not have to be said in public. You can feel how you feel and not have to say everything in public. And that's just how it is. It's just like, okay, I feel this way. Good for you, but you don't have to share that. You don't have to state that in public. You don't have to state, "Oh well, I feel this type of way about my ex-husband." Listen, you don't have to. If it's over and let it be what it's going to be. But it's just like let's do better with what we're doing and what we're sharing and what we're putting out there. Okay, now that's my house cleaning and that's my being nice for today. Let's get into it. Listen, you have a high school student, she's your high school daughter. Her teacher says, "You know what? Listen, won't you take my braids down? We at the school, take my braids down." What do you guys feel about that? Do you all feel that that's appropriate or is it inappropriate for a teacher to have his high school student take his hair down in school? Now, I will say this, they are on the school property, so he's having her to take his hair down in class. What do you all think about that? Is that appropriate or is that inappropriate? The male teacher having his student, his young high school student, take his hair down, unbraid his hair in class in the high school. She's taking his hair down. Now, listen, it's a no for me. It's a no, unless it's not a hard no. Now, here are some scenarios where I would say, okay, you know what? It might not be a hard no at this moment. But the first thing is if that's her major, like, is she in cosmetology? What is like, why is my daughter taking this grown man's hair down? Is she in cosmetology? Is she in cosmetology class? If so, then okay, I'm okay with that. Take his hair down because this is a part of your grade or whatnot. But that's it. If she is braiding hair, and let's say she has a side hustle on the side, and she's like, "Okay, man, I'm gonna take my teacher. My teacher gonna pay me to take his hair down." Well, listen, we need some guidelines. We need some rules and some guidelines set up for you taking his hair down. You're not just gonna be up in the school all willy-nilly up in this man's head and there's no adult supervision. So that's the thing. It would have to be adult supervision. If there is no adult supervision, then no, you will not be taking his hair down. And even with the adult supervision, sometimes it's like we got to be so mindful. It's protection for both the teacher and the student. So let me start with the teacher. Sir, it's not a good look. It's not a good look because you are a young man and you have a child getting close to you taking your hair down. Now, anybody can come up and look at that situation and it could be looked at the wrong way. So you always want to be in position where you're protecting yourself. You don't want, listen, because somebody coming up and they see her in your head, they don't know what to think. It could be innocent. It is innocent if you're saying she's just taking your hair down, but perception is everything. What happens when the principal walks past and sees this young girl in your hair? How do you explain that to the principal? How do you explain that to her family? Like, how do you explain that? So it's just like we have to be mindful because just because it seems like it's a good ideal or it is truly innocent, it's so many different ways to look at that situation. And as the adult in the situation, You have to make the best decisions for yourself, your career, and your freedom. Because, sir, I mean, this is a young girl. You could possibly face some jail time if, if the parent decided to get crazy and the parent decided that they didn't like that, then listen, now you could be in some serious trouble. So, everything, I know sometimes we're like, oh, this world just makes everything so hard, and we can't do anything and all this other stuff. And that's true. That may be true. But the day and time that we're living in, the way these young ladies are shaped, the way they are living fast and just doing everything, a lot of this stuff is not going to be considered innocent. So we definitely have to be mindful with what it is that we are doing. So as a man, as a teacher, as an adult, it's not a good move. So again, I'm not saying that there was anything done wrong in that situation, but what I'm saying is, as a man, that's not a good look. And I would not want my child sitting here taking down an adult man's hair, braiding his, again, she got a little boobies all probably all rubbing all upside, because he was a little attractive looking little young dude. So, ain't no telling what was going on. But she got a little, taking this little hair down. And listen, y'all know what the myth is that's going around. Listen, she braid my hair, I got the protection. Come on, y'all already know what that is. If she relock my hair, I got the protection. So we already know what the saying is that goes on behind this type of stuff today. So we have to make sure that we are being mindful and that we are protecting ourselves and our best interests. And just again, as a grown man, it's not a good look. Ladies, parents, we have to make sure that we teaching our children how to move. Listen, look, you cannot look, okay? Because at that age, the young age, listen, them hormones is out of control. And especially in today's society, baby, these girls, they wake up with the oven on 475 degrees. They wake up like burning up. All of the stuff that's going on, all sex, this, sex, everything, it's ridiculous. James is saying, you are right. Think about the kids. Erica is saying, it's a hecky dog nog for me. Listen, Erica, I'm with you. It is absolutely not going to, it's not flying with me. James is saying it's going to be taken the wrong way regardless. Absolutely. And that's why, as a man, as an adult, as a teacher, it's just all around. It's just not a good look. And it's just like at all times, especially being in a position of authority, you have to make sure you are covering your behind at all times. You got to make sure you are not I know you want to be cool with the kids and all this and that, but it's a way to do it. It's a way to be cool with the kids, get your point across, be personable and all this other stuff. It's a way to do all of that. But that particular move right there, sir, I believe that, in my opinion, that was a little bit too much. You went a little bit too far with that, and it's a no for me. So again, we have to do what we have to do and make sure that we are being mindful and you're following protocol, because that wasn't protocol right there. That was not. And if the school board got a hold of that, you would be in some serious trouble. You would have to have some serious explaining to do. And I hope that it doesn't come to this, because now the picture has gone viral. So, hopefully nothing comes of it. Hopefully it was innocent. Hopefully all of this stuff was, again, it is what it is. Hopefully that whole situation worked out right. Now, speaking of hoping that things work out right, ladies, you start dating this man. Man, he's looking good. He's nice. You guys have a great vibe. The rapport is just on point. Like, he's consistent. He's everything. And so a few dates into knowing each other, he tells you that he has a female roommate. How do you guys feel about that? Would you be okay with a man that you're dating, the man that you're dating having a female roommate. And you know what? I'm going to expand it. Fellas, how would you feel if the woman that you were dating, she tells you, you know what? I have a roommate and my roommate is a man. How would you feel about that? Would you all be okay with a person that you're dating having a roommate of the opposite sex? Would that be okay? Or are you one of those people that say, come on, Jay, it is 2024. People are living together for all type of reasons to save money and all this and that foolery. I'm cool with it. I'm not insecure. See, that's what's wrong with y'all. Everybody insecure. Listen, you can call me whatever you like, but you will not be calling me Bozo the Clown. It will definitely be a hard no for me. It's just a hard, it's just a hard no. And sometimes, listen, even just having a roommate, period. Nowadays, nowadays, you just can't be too sure about anybody. Listen, you just can't be, you just can't be too sure because what if he like to travel to the back door, so I'm just at this point, listen, in the 30 plus age range, if you don't have a job, if you don't have the income to be able to stand on your own at this point in the game, it's probably going to be a hard no for me. Like, I would have to understand, like, did you have some type of catastrophic loss? Because a lot of people are rebounding from COVID. Okay, so let's have that conversation. But if you've always lived with someone and you've always split everything in half or three ways or however many ways, I don't know, like, will that person be able to fully handle a household and handle a family? I don't know. Those are just things that I would be thinking about. But no, it will not. It's a no for me. It's a no. It is an absolute no. Pretty Tasha is saying no. It's a no for me. I look. Listen, roommate, schmoommate. Listen, what happens when it's storming in the middle of the night and she got that BBL and she come on downstairs and she's just jiggling all everywhere and he's sitting up there on the couch playing the game and she just jiggle on by. You mean to tell me ain't nothing gonna happen? Listen, if you think that, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm not going for it because I know he gonna be at 21 gun salute. And then she gonna make, oh, baby, she fell on. Oh, it was just a mistake. It was a bad judge. Not on my time. Not on my watch. Will it not be this foolishness? It is not going to happen. James is saying, I couldn't trust that answer. It would be a no for me. Yeah, it's like, come on. Like, I don't know, that comfortability. And again, for me, I don't believe it has anything to do with a person being insecure. It's just not a good, it's not a good fit. It's not a good look all the way around. But here's the deal. People, listen, you can do whatever you like, whatever floats your boat. If that makes you comfortable to be able to have someone there, have a roommate, and that's what works for you, and that's what your situation calls for, then you have to do what you have to do by all means. But for me, and that whole roommate deal, male, female, it's just a no for me. And with the having a roommate, for me, that says that, you know what, you got some things that you got to work on before even trying to, get out here and get with somebody. Like, you got some things that you probably want to build and, work on so that you can be more financially solid, so that when you do get out there and, you get out there in a relationship, you're solid. Like, you're financially solid. You'll be able to take care of yourself. And then if anything if it leads to something more serious, then you will be able to have your stuff in order. But just laying around. She walking all around, got that thing out, and now come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Now, speaking of having that thing out, now what about this? Your husband, he's like, listen, I'm having my guys over. And ladies, your husband says, you know what? I want you to stay in the room or don't come in here while my guys out here. How do you feel about that? Would you honor that request? He's like, yo, I don't want you. Don't come in here. Like, don't come in the front. Don't come in here. Me and my boys going to be in here. We hanging out. Don't come in here while my guys are here. But it's your home. What do you guys feel about that? Ladies, are you going to honor that request, or are you going to feel some type of way that he is asking you not to come in while his friends are there? Would you catch an attitude? Would you honor his request? Or would you be like, listen, what you talking about? Some don't come up in here, don't come out the room. I ain't no kid. I live here too. If you don't want me out, then listen, you need to go. You and your little friends, y'all need to go somewhere else. How do you all, ladies, what do you feel about that? And fellas, is this something that you do? Like when your guys are over, do you have your lady go to a certain part of the house, or do you have like your man cave? If your friends are there, do you go to your man cave? Or again, do you ask your lady, like, or your wife, do you say, you know what, babe, listen, my guys are coming over, I appreciate if you don't, come here, come to the back, come to the kitchen, wherever. Would you be okay with that, ladies? Would you be okay with your guy asking you, listen, babe, I'm entertaining tonight. Please don't come this way. I'll see you once my friends leave, this and that. How do you feel about that? Now, for me, listen, you don't have to ask me that, because I'm not coming out there, because again, situations, everybody ain't all as cool and calm as what they pretend to be. So everybody ain't what they pretend to be. Everybody ain't who they pretend to be. So we got to be so mindful with those type of things. And so if he asks you not to come out because he is entertaining, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Why can you not, why not honor what he is asking you? He asked you nicely. What you coming out for anyway? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you there? What's the purpose of coming out to check on what he's doing? Like, what's the purpose of coming out? Why are you coming out? He is entertaining. He got his friends there. Why are you walking around? Go find you some business. Like when his friends are there, you can be out entertaining your friends. But I think a lot of times we get all, sensitive, and a lot of times we can get in our feelings, and we don't, this is my house. How you gonna be trying to tell me don't come out? I pay the bills here just like he do. We 50-50. 50% of this is mine, so I can walk 50%. Because listen, back in my petty days, listen, that probably would have been that. Listen, I'm not going to lie. That could probably be a response that I can see myself conjuring up. That was the old me, though, you all. That was the old me. But that was something that I can see. That's something that I would have said, you know, at the wrong time years ago. I probably said something like that. This is my house. You listen, if you don't want me walking around, you go over their house. I ain't gonna be sitting up in the room. I ain't gonna be on the second floor of the house. Now you got a whole big house, and you finna sit here and act an ugly clown because this man asked you not to come around him and his friends while he's entertaining. Is he wrong for that? Absolutely not. The man has a right to privacy, and they just want to hang out. Just like if you and your girls are hanging out, do you want your man walking out around you and your listen, let's be honest, some of them steal for the streets, and that if you look the wrong way, or you was out the room too long, they'll be trying to run up on your dude. So, and your dude, he know that he got some friends like that. So don't put your friends in those situations. Don't put the man's friends in that situation. Don't do it. James says he knows his friends will hit on her, on the low, on the cool, and that's true. Especially, listen, to make matters worse, you don't want to stay in the room. You done got the BBL and all of this other stuff, and you wearing everything that's showing where every incision, every implant, every piece of silicone was pumped in your body. You are wearing the outfit to show everything off. Everything. But then you get mad when people looking. That's a whole different story. But if he asks you to stay your end in the room, stay in the room or go find you something else to do. But there's no purpose in getting an attitude if this man is requesting that you not come out while he has his boys over. I think that it's a matter of respect, and you should respect what he is asking you, because that's your husband and you all live together, and he has a right to entertain people just like you have a right to hang out and do what it is that you're doing with you and your friends. He has the right to do what he's doing with his friends and not have you come trolloping around, prancing around, doing all this. Listen, you know how you be walking around and everything bouncing and everything jiggling, and then you stop. Listen, you know you stopping and getting attention on the street. What you think his friends gonna do? They men. You can't get mad and act like they not gonna look. He know they gonna look. That's why he asking you to stay in the room. So Anime Bullock, please stay in the room. Now listen, speaking of staying in the room, what do you all listen? What do you all think about this statement? This particular scenario. So the guy, he called AAA because he had a flat. He called AAA. They sent a woman to change his tire. She's a AAA employee. So he's watching her change the tire, and people are riding by looking at him. And, he said he got a couple of names. Some people, actually stopped, called him a couple of names because he was not helping the woman change his tire. And he wanted to know, was he wrong for not helping the woman change the tire? Who is a AAA employee, and AAA sent her out because this is her job. So should he help her, even though it's a service that he is paying for? He is going to pay 100% for that service. He's not going to get a discount because he helped her. So should he help her change his tire, or should he let her do her job? Now, this is where I feel like, sometimes we do a little bit too much. Listen, this is her job. She signed up to work for AAA, so changing her tires, I'm sure this was not the first man's tire that she had to change, and it won't be the last as long as that is her job. So let's listen. I'm not looking at your gender. This is your job, and this is a service that I'm paying for. So do your job. Now, if he decided, man, they done sent this lady out here. Let me go ahead on and help her. It's not that she's not qualified to do the job, but just as a man and being chivalrous, because again, men is just, listen, manhood, it just stands up in different ways. But I'm not saying that if he did not do that, that he's less than a man. Not saying that whatsoever, because it's a service that he is paying for. But, if I were the AAA employee and he was helping me, I would be most gracious, and then I would even try to see if he could get something off. I would like to let them know, like, man, he helped me out. I would try to do that before leaving. And if they didn't, take anything off, then, I'd be like, well, at least I tried to help them, try to see if they could take something off since you did assist me. It would look something like that. But again, would I think that he is wrong or like is he less than a man because he chose to not help change the tire? No. This is my job. I mean, I work for AAA. I work for whatever towing company. This is my job to come out and change tires. And that's what my job is, to change tires. Not, oh, I'm a delicate woman. Listen, I'm here to do my job. She was there to do a job. So we can't bash the man because he's sitting back on his phone, chilling, talking, and while she down there getting dirty and all this and that. That's her job. Point blank. That's her job. So I don't feel some type of way. I don't feel like he's done something wrong or he should be, be embarrassed or whatever it is. It's her job. That's what she signed up for. That's why I work for a towing company when you know that you're going to service both men and women. So if she didn't have a problem with it, if that's the field that she chose, then sir, let her do her job. But again, if there's a part of you that feels compelled to help her, then that would be great. Like, that's a bonus. But again, it's a bonus. It's not a requirement. I don't think that it says anything about his man. I don't think that his manhood is questioned in a situation like this. I don't think that he is less than or whatever the case is. It's a woman doing her job. She is the employee for this tow company that was sent out to change his tire. And that's all that it is. It ain't no, listen, stop all this. Well, he could at least helped her. He saw that she was no, she should if she couldn't do the job, then don't take the job. Don't apply for the job if you cannot handle the conditions that come along with the job. If you cannot handle that, don't take it. And that's just that. So we're going to put this ish to rest. She chose it. If you got to lift that big old tire up and them lugs and all, listen, that's your job. You chose it. Now, if he sees her struggling now, I just refuse to believe unless he's like really dressed up and like he can't afford to get dirty. But even still, then it's certain parts of just being a certain type of dude is gonna show up. And maybe he's not that dude. Again, does that make him less than? Does that make him a bad dude? No, it does not. It just means that he's not that dude. He's not the dude to go above and beyond for something he doesn't believe that he should go above and beyond for. And this is a situation that qualifies for that. She works for the company. He's paying for a service and he is having his service performed. That's it. That's all. So again, listen, ladies, I'm not on your side with this one. Listen, it's her job. She chose it. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out, bro. If you want to sit there and let this lady change your tire, knock yourselves out. But here's what will cause somebody to get knocked out. Now, what do you guys think about this hot topic? You're dating someone and you see them on a date with somebody else. Lord have mercy. I'm going to say that again. You're dating someone, but you see them on a date with someone else. How would you handle that? Like, seriously, you're out. Listen, you was out with this dude on Friday. You guys had an amazing time on Friday. And on Saturday, you're out with your friends. And you see the guy that you were out with on Friday on a date. How would you feel about that? And how would you handle it? See, this is why I don't like dating. And I want to go ahead and throw this other hot topic into this because it kind of relates. What do you prefer? Do you prefer dating multiple people at one time, or do you prefer to date one person at a time? Because this is something that, you have to determine what your style of dating is. So if you know that you're a person that is only dating one person at a time, you have to have some thick skin in this game, especially today, especially in today's society, because more times and more often than not, people are dating multiple people at one time. Whether they are saying it or not, people are dating multiple people more than one, more than one time. And my thing is this, like, let's just come on, let's call a spade a spade. Let's put it out there, because again, don't have me dating just you thinking that we're gonna lead to something, and you dating everybody and they mama and they aunties and they grandmamas too. You dating everybody, but I'm out here just dating one person. So determine what your dating style is. But for me, you can take my answer however you want to. If I'm dating somebody and I see him out with someone else, that's the end for me. Like, it just brought back, like, to me, and I wouldn't say that he's necessarily doing anything wrong by dating someone else if we're dating. But you know how you see something disgusting and you like lose your appetite for, I would lose my appetite. I would lose my desire to be with him because I've saw him with somebody else. I've saw him treat somebody like he treats me, and I don't like it. And guess what? I'm entitled to feel that way. You could call it petty, immature. You can call it whatever you like. I don't care, because I know what my dating style is, and I don't like to date multiple people at one time. That's why I hate it here. I hate it here. And I just, I have to accept that this is the way life is and this is the way things are. But I absolutely do not like it here because it's some foolishness. So if you dating me, we're dating, I see him with somebody. And here's the thing, let's not clown. Oh my God, please let's not clown. Like, we should be so over that. We should be so over the clowning phase, because here's the thing. He was out with you on Friday, but he chose somebody else on Saturday. So why are you going to show out? He made a decision not to see you that day. It was his decision. So he didn't care enough to have a round two with you, or he didn't care enough to have a second date with you. That should say something right there. James is saying, but it was my sister. Yeah, okay, James. Pretty Tasha is saying, is there if there is nothing serious going on with me and the other person and we are dating, then I would date another guy until I know a man is serious with me. You have to keep your options open, because you can't guarantee that one person you're choosing to date is going to work out with you. Just because you go out on a date with someone does not mean that they are going to follow through with you. Absolutely. I totally agree with that statement, Pretty Tasha. And if you know that you're that person and you can date like that, then that's great. But for people that don't like to date multiple people, this is what we got to understand. Just because you are not dating multiple people, if you decide to date someone, then they have the option and they have the right to date other people, just like you have the right to exercise your right not to date other people. But this is what makes those type of scenarios crazy, because while they're out dating somebody else, you're just dating them. So you're kind of just like waiting, basically waiting for your turn. Okay, well, I guess he gonna see me today, I guess. And that can cause some feelings, some rather unpleasant feelings, because you're like, dang, I'm out here with him, and I'm sitting up here waiting on him, and he out here living his best life. Well, guess what? You got to live your best life. Fellas, if she out there living her best life and she's dating multiple people, and you like, man, yo, I can't deal. Because see, again, fellas, y'all kind of different on this. You all are fine to date other women. But fellas, What if it was you that saw the lady you were with on Friday, you saw her out on a date with somebody else. And here's the thing, fellas are a trip because they have a problem with this. I've seen so many posts. Oh, she just going out for the meals and all this and that. No, wait. Why she got to be going out just for the meals, but you can go out and you can be dating, but she going out for the meal. She just going out for a free meal. You see how that don't be making no sense? You see how all this hypocrisy and these stereotypes and she going out for the meal, but he's dating. We got to make it make sense. They both single and they both doing the same thing, but we got a label on her. She being bashed because she's going out on all of these dates. But he can go out on all the dates, but she's wrong if she's taking multiple men up on the offer to go out on a date. So y'all got to make that ish make total sense. And y'all know I'm right. Y'all know if you saw a woman out, you were with her on Friday, and then you see her with somebody else on Saturday, tell me, fellas, you're not gonna be feeling some type of way. Tell me you are not gonna, and it's not gonna be about the fact that you feel like she your woman. You gonna be like, man, I just spent $150 on this such and such last night, $200, and here she out with this dude. Well, what is she supposed to do? If y'all dating and y'all single, what is she supposed to do? Is she supposed to sit in the house and twiddle her thumbs and wait for you to decide, oh, I want to see her again? No. If it's something that you're interested in, I suggest you jump on it, because you can't be mad when you see somebody else that is possibly jumping up on the opportunity, and now you're sitting here, now you just like, man, like, dang, she could have just told me, like, oh, and don't let the dude look better than you. Don't let him have like he got a little bit more money than you. Don't let him have that. Durrell says, I thought that's the point of a date, right? And it's right. It's right. So, Durrell, let me ask you this. So, again, should he have a problem if they went out on Friday and then he sees her on a date with somebody else on Saturday? Should he be upset with that? Should he be upset with the fact that, you know what, listen, I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to have a date. We dated Friday. I'm going out on another date, because we've all seen the post where some men think that women are gold diggers if they are dating. They're going out with multiple men, but men can date. So you see, it's not worded like that. It's not worded like, oh, the man is a gold digger because he's exercising his option to go out on multiple dates. But if women are doing it, some men feel that women are being gold diggers because men are paying for the dates. Oh, she's just going out for free meals. So, Dara, you're saying no for what? Like, she's not wrong for going out on that date, or, she is wrong for going out on the date and she is considered, she's not dating. Again, people, you got to know what your dating style is. What is your dating style? Do you like dating multiple people, or are you not the person that will be like, okay, listen, whoo, child, I can't date multiple people. See, me, I'm not a multiple person dater. That's why I don't like dating, because I know I would be ready to act like the lady off Misery. I know that I would. I know that I would be ready to put that stick of that log right in between his legs and take the axe and just start just knock his ankles in, knock his kneecaps in. See, I know. See, I'll let y'all in on a little secret. I will misery you. So that's why I listen. I don't like the dating stuff. I will have to misery you. Durrell is saying neither party is wrong. Yeah, I'm with that, Durrell. Neither party is wrong. But like I say, me, I'm gonna put what was her name? Beatty, well, her name Beatty. She put that doggone log in between his legs. She took that axe back, baby, the way them ankles and them knees buckled in. I was like, well, you gonna listen. All I said was, you know what? but he gonna learn today. Bet you he learned to not play with her on that day, on Mrs. Bates on that day. But again, when you're dating, we have to make sure that the guidelines, first of all, that we're clear. We know that we are dating. We're both single. We're both dating, which means that we are free to see other people. But if you are a person that chooses not to exercise your right to see other people, you cannot have rocks in your jaws if the other person exercises their right to see other people. That's where the exercise self-control comes in at, because I'm not going to lie. It will be hard. As I said, if somebody I'm dating and I walk in and I see him with someone else, I'm not going to clown. I'm not going to make a scene, but I'm also not dating him anymore. Why? Because you have spoiled my appetite. My appetite has been spoiled for you because I saw you with somebody else. And I'm fine to be like, listen, know ye thine self. If you know that your petty meter resides there, rock out. I'm not dating you. I'm done. I don't have a desire for you anymore. You've ruined that because I saw you with someone else. Did you do something wrong? No. It's just that, again, it's just like you have an appetite, you have a taste for something, and you maybe see something disgusting, and you like, oh, man, it done spoiled my appetite. That's how it would be. That would be the same feeling for me. You have spoiled my appetite. And I don't want to deal with it. Like my appetite has been spoiled and I'm not going to be able to do it. Hey, Lady Lotus, I'm not going to be able to do it. So again, if you want to spoil my appetite, listen, everything is real. So I'm going back away from it and I will have to let you do what you are going to do. But if we're dating, just don't let me see you. You can date whoever you want to date because that's what I signed up for. That's what I signed up for. Dating whoever you want to date. I signed up for that. But don't think that if I see you with someone else, that I'm going to be there after the fact. Because again, I get turned off very easily. And that right there, that is that's a point of no return for me. Again, it's not something that he's done. It's not that he's wrong for doing that, but my eyes cannot unsee you with that person, and I just choose not to deal with it. Daryl is saying dating used to have guidelines and levels. A date is not an exclusive relationship unless you have agreed upon the same do's and don'ts. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree that it should. And that's the key word. It used to and it should have rules to it. But some people just make up rules away, along the way that they're going. But again, let's, for the sake of the conversation, girl, let's say that everything that they are following the rules that we set out to do, and we're both adhering to it, and we both agree to this. What I'm saying is, the moment I see you with someone else, all bets are off for me, because again, it spoiled my appetite. So let's say you watching a movie or something and you see something disgusting and it spoils your appetite. Now you don't want to eat because you saw something on TV that spoiled your appetite. It don't mean that it was something wrong. It means that you saw something that did not agree with you, and now you done. Like, you don't want to deal with it anymore because your appetite is ruined. Darla said, I'm confused why a person would see me out on a date unless they are out on one also. No, I said, what if they were hanging out with their friends? So what if, because girls, we have girls' night all the time. We always going out to eat. And they saw them out. How would you react? And so again, my reaction would be smooth. I would never confront anybody. But here's the thing. So let's say this. Would you acknowledge the person? Would you go over and speak to them if you saw the person that you went out on a date with, or a person that you're dating, and you're hanging out with your friends, would you go out? Would you speak to them? Would you acknowledge them? What would you do? Would you act like you don't know them? Now, again, there's a certain level of petty in me. So, depending on how I'm feeling and what sign is in orbit, is it Aquarius season? What season is it? That would greatly depend on how I'm going to react. If I'm going to speak or if I'm going to look them up and keep walking. Where I'm at, the season that I am in right now, where the sun is aligning with the moon and we've had the eclipse here, I'm probably gonna look them up and I'm gonna keep going. That's right now. But you all, that's not because of me. That's because of the eclipse. We've had the eclipse. Okay. We done had the eclipse up in here, and the eclipse makes me, it threw me off a little bit. I looked up at the sun. I'm blaming it on that. But I'll look at them and I'll keep going. One thing I'm not doing, and I can tell you this, there's no showing out. There's no acting up. That's one thing. Now, that's one thing I can promise you. But would I speak? I don't know. That's a little bit iffy. Pretty Tasha is saying exactly. And some people don't get it or want to twist it around and make it look like you already belong to them, and it don't work like that. I don't even like that. And then they want to be quick to call you baby or boo. That is a red flag to me. You know what, Pretty Tasha, with that baby and that boo, see, the reason that they do that is because it's other people and they don't want to make a mistake and call the wrong name. So what a safe way to, not call you the wrong name or not type the wrong name than to say boo or to say baby. It's like, that's like, okay, listen, the last thing you want to do is call somebody else name. Amen. Let's just go ahead and say that. So dudes, they be having so much going on sometimes. They be like, listen, baby, boo. So Pretty Tasha, don't really take that personal. Don't take it as though they're placing ownership, because I don't think that they placing ownership. They just trying, they just covering the bases. So if they don't say your name, then they can never get caught up in a situation. So it's just not going to work out like that. Lady Lotus is saying, you gonna know I see you, but I'm not gonna act the clown and embarrass myself. Daryl is like, I like that one, Jay. Yeah, the boo, the bay and the boo, like, I mean, like, I would do it. Listen, and let's just I'm gonna say this. Because sometimes, listen, when you have so much going on and you trying to date all these multiple people, listen, you can get tricked up. It's like it be so much going on, and you really trying to text Lexi, and you text, you make a mistake and text Linda, or you text, you telling Alexa to text Lexi. And with Alexa, what is something for Alexis? They text Lexa. So you dating Alexi and Alexa. Alexa texts Lexi instead of Lexus. Now you done called them by the name. Now you got it messed up. Now you could blame it on Siri or Alexa. You could say it was the what they be saying too, it was the auto typing and all this other ish. So it's a lot of ways that you can smooth it over. But instead of going through all that ish, listen, boo, baby, listen, that's easy. We all win right there. Ain't nobody in trouble. Ain't nobody got to explain ish, and all is well in this world. Amen. We are all well. He done got everybody satisfied. All the bases have been covered because you are boo or baby or babe. So don't really take it as a red flag, Pretty Tasha. He's just covering the bases. He just don't want to forget who he talking to. He don't want to say the wrong name. So, and plus, also, he's texting everybody. See, he gonna do that, send that same text to everybody. So if he got to address you by name, now he got to stop, got to change the name each time. No, but if I just say, good morning, baby, listen, all his babies, he's saying good morning to. All his queens, he's saying good morning to. So, you can't get mad at that. But you all, that's a good question. What do you feel about a man or being called queen? Ladies, what do you feel about that? Being called queen or being called boo or baby? Is that too soon? Because again, I know for me and the level of foolery that's in me, I don't think that those are no longer terms of endearment. Bae, boo, baby, it's not a term of endearment to me anymore because dude, listen, brother. Now, y'all know I love y'all. Like, let me tell y'all, I love y'all like some homemade chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips up in there. Now I love those. Now, anybody know me know that I love homemade chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips? Fellas, that's how I love y'all. But y'all know y'all be wrong with that ish right there. Y'all know y'all be wrong with that baby and all this other crap, knowing it means absolutely nothing. So therefore, I am definitely desensitized by hearing the bae and boo and all this and queen and all that. I'm not saying that I get offended by it. I'm not saying that I don't like it. What I'm saying is I'm desensitized from it. I know it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that I'm special to you. It doesn't mean that. Now, when I first started talking to you all, I still had, I had a little glimmer of hope, but the more I've done this show and talked to people and got messages and all this other ish, my rose colored glasses and shades, listen, it has been removed. We no longer have that going on. And you know what? It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And it's cool because you know what? That's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. And so we can't really be mad about that. So we're going to have to make it do what it do. And we're going to keep it moving. But that bae and that boo, don't get upset about it. Don't think that it's personal because it's just a chain message. Pretty Tasha is saying, oh, okay, Sister J, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, they can get names mixed up. Yes, they can. And boo, babe, and baby is the quickest way and the easiest way to keep everything nice and organized. Girl is saying nicknames are for people who have titles. So Daryl is Bay and Boo is baby and Boo. Is that still considered a nickname or is it a code? Now, if you don't want to give away the secret, you ain't got to tell us. Because I already know when they say all that queen and ish, again, it's just child. It's just like, all right. All right. Pretty Tasha is saying queen is fine when they call me that. And that's cool. Like I say, I don't have a problem with being called baby or queen or any of that. But again, do I feel like it's specifically for me? I don't feel like that. I feel like, it's, you calling anybody that. Again, that could be just a generic message that is being sent out. But guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time. Hey, Lee.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. gotta look so good, 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 good. With your hair done, nails done, when you put that chrome on, girl, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your bodyguard, not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good, 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 good? It's something about you. Why you gotta look so good? When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting the wrong one alone. Why you gotta look so good, 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 good? With your hair done, your nails done, when you put the gold on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to YouTube, like and follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok and follow us there, the J Spot. Again, guys, J is Jaye. Guys, listen, we are celebrating today 100,000 members in Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay. 100,000, guys. We are going strong. Listen, it is going on up in there. Now, I posted in the group and I said I had a surprise. So, a surprise is for everybody. Listen, this weekend, if you have a business, product, or service that you would like to advertise in the Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay group, go ahead and post those and we will approve them this weekend so you can mark it to our group as a way of thanking us saying thank you for being a part of the family. We are going to allow you to post your business, product, or service. Now, if you want your business, product, or service to be mentioned live on the show and you want us to display your stuff, listen, email us at JSpotInc and put in the subject line business, promote business, and somebody on the team will get back to you. Again, that's JSpot, Jaye, spotinc@gmail.com. If you have a business, product, or service that you want to promote with us and advertise with us on the J Spot. But again, thank you, Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay, 30 and Up, Doing Us, Tyson Smith, Pit Life, 180 Real Talk Chicago, the J Spot, everybody that rocks with us, guys. I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Now, listen, our next hot topic. Now, see, this is where this foolishness comes in. And now, like, guys, what do you all think about this? So the guy, he goes again. We keep seeing this. It keeps popping up. So now he goes and he goes and gets a food just for his one kid. Okay. And he brings it back. He went and got his kids some McDonald's, brought his kid the McDonald's back. Okay. Only his kid, but she has other kids in the house. So when he comes with the food, she asks him, "So you only brought food for your kid?" And he was like, "Yeah, you need to call their daddy so that they can come and bring them some food as well." What do you all think about that? Was he wrong for his response? Was she wrong for even confronting him about what he is doing for his child? How should that situation be handled? Because this is very, very common and prevalent in the type of households that we have today. So let's kind of hash this out. If you guys want to talk to me, my number is 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. Father comes over, brings his child a meal from McDonald's. The mother is like, "You know what? You only brought food for your kid. What about the other kids?" The father's response for it: "Listen, call their fathers and have them to bring them some food over." Who was right? Who was wrong? How do you handle that situation? What's the best way to handle this? Lord, hey, Lord Tanae, how you doing? What's the best way to handle this type of situation? He brings the food just for his child. Is this man wrong for bringing the food just for his child? Like, how does that work? So here's the thing. In situations like this, okay, let me get to you, Lord Tanae. Lord Tanae is saying, "I'm not saying he is wrong, but that is being small-minded. He should have just brought groceries." Absolutely. And that's definitely a way to look at it, Lord Tanae, because here's the deal. You're not hurting the mother. I always like to say this: it's drawing, and it's making a strainful relationship between your child and their siblings. So yes, although she could and should call their fathers to do something or bring them something, a treat or something like that, or bring them something to eat outside, bring them some outside food, you're looking at it through the lens of an adult. These type of situations, we have to look at these type of situations through the lens and the hearts and the perception of kids. And if we start looking at this particular situation through the eyes of a child, then maybe some of us will start moving differently and making different decisions. Because again, this doesn't hurt. This hurts only the child. This doesn't hurt the adults. This hurts the child because, again, the one child, yeah, oh, your daddy brought you McDonald's and this and that. And so now let's say if it's two other kids there. Well, now the two other kids are going to gang up on your child and not want to talk to your child because of your action. Should it be like that? No, it shouldn't. But it's like the kids don't care about you not being the biological father. They're not looking at things like that. They're looking at, oh, they think he's special because they bought him all of this and they getting all this extra stuff. That's how the kid is looking at it. So if we look at it like that, then maybe we can start, just doing some things differently. Is he responsible for bringing other kids food? No, it's not his responsibility. Was he wrong for what he said? No, he was not wrong for what he said. But there's a way to do everything. There's a way to do everything. If you know that you want to treat your child to McDonald's, again, take your child. Tell the mother to have the kid ready. Y'all go out, y'all have y'all time. But then here's the thing. Now we got to train our kid to not be a messy little kid, because kids can be messy. So when you drop the kid off, listen, You don't have to go in and tell your brothers and sisters what we've done because we don't want them to feel bad. We have to stress that we're not trying to make your brothers and sisters feel bad so you don't have to discuss the things that you and I do together. That could be a way to handle it if you're not the type of man that wants to bring groceries and all this and that. Take your kid to go and y'all go out and eat. But as a mother, I just don't know if I would be okay with seeing my one kid being treated. And again, it has nothing to do with it being his responsibility, but I am the mother for all of these children, and I have to ensure that they are all well-rounded physically, mentally, and emotionally well-rounded people. And I know that that act right there can mentally unbalance a child. So I am not going to allow you to mentally unbalance my children. It's not your responsibility. We're taking that off of you. It's not. But it's my responsibility to ensure that the emotional well-being of my children are protected. And this particular action and this particular move threatens the well-being of my other children. So we're going to have to find another way to handle this. Again, this is where we have to get outside of ourselves. Oh, my kid gonna do this, my kid gonna do that. We got to get outside of that. Now we have Lord Tanae saying the other kids can't support themselves, but it isn't right to have the other kids be left out. I totally agree. Now Durl is saying, but Durla said, as a man, you are supposed to communicate first. If you don't have enough for all, then take yours out and feed it. If the mother of your child or children are in a bind and the food short, you fill up the refrigerator for them all to eat. But it's not them circumstances, then, huh? DJ, here goes your some food money, my man. Yes, exactly. Girl, I like that because again, how many people are really thinking about that though? They just like, okay, well, listen, that ain't my we have the that ain't my kid, that ain't my responsibility type outlook on a lot of these things. And unfortunately, that is why our situation, we are in our community, in our society is in the way that it is in now because we're every man for himself. This ain't my situation. This ain't my kids. This ain't my nobody is caring about the kids, but we're all pointing fingers when something goes wrong. My sister Leanna is saying, what about when the kid comes back and rubs it in the other kid's face? Also, is it really fair that the child can't be excited and express how exciting the child was or is? You know what? And I thought about that too, Lee. And I was saying, so yeah, you know what? Sometimes, some kids are the devil. So they will come back and now you done spoke and told what your daddy did, which you're supposed to be able to be happy about. But at the same time, we got to kind of teach them some decorum because the other kids are not necessarily getting it. And if we want to have a war in the house and they always fighting, and now you got to put everybody in the corner because, they acting a clown over this meal or over how one kid's father treats them and the other two is not, it just causes for a mess, a whole big mess. So these situations, it really requires the parents being parents. Daryl saying sorry for my typos too big. My fingers too big. No, you good, Daryl. So Leanna saying we have to explain to our children the truth. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. But it's like at the same time, we gonna tell them the truth, but they still ain't gonna like it. And it's like at a certain point, I think the older they get, they will understand. But age definitely is a big factor in these conversations and how you would handle the situation the child's age is. And Durl is saying, so what? Let them brag. Lordine is saying it's not a responsibility, but as a man, support all of the kids and your life will be rewarded. Woo, guys, how do you feel about that statement? Lord Tanae said it's not a responsibility. But as a man, all of the kids and your support all of the kids and your life will be rewarded. I want to know what you all think about that statement, guys. We're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have a few more hot topics to get into. I want to know what you guys think about what Lord and they said. Support all the kids and you will be rewarded. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Loving you has always been easy because it's true. I would not believe if someone would have told me you would come along to reveal my soul. Cause I was low in love, my heart had grown cold. So cold. You had good energy, exactly what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where it was needed. Not a mirage, what I feel for you. Put that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Oh yeah, yeah. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got good chemistry, go together like love sex. The passion and care we show one another tops all the rest. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop. Go to YouTube, like and follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Then go to TikTok, boop, 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 like and follow us there. That's the J Spot again, guys. It's Jaye. And guess what? Turn on the notification bells. Listen, guys. We are celebrating 100,000 members.
Woo!
The J Spot. Oh my God. Like, you all have been listening and rocking with us. And I really, really, really thank you all so much. Listen, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now listen, go on to those other platforms so that we can get those numbers up over there. It's enough of us to start doing some big things. So I just want to thank you guys so much. Now listen, it's just me.
All right now.
But sitting next to me, we got Chandler.
Yes.
Esthetician.
Ooh.
Mother of a group of cool dudes.
Hey, y'all.
And a little lady.
All right now.
We got Lady Lotus.
Hey, y'all. I'm finally here.
How you doing today?
I thought I almost went to sleep on the road.
Really?
Girl, traffic. It's just like it's raining and it's traffic and I'm just stuck here. And somebody said, why don't you pull up your GPS and see how long it's going to take you to get there? And it says 6:18. I was like, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go back home. But I'm here.
Well, we are glad that you are here, and here. Because as you can see, this foolishness.
You're backing up, ma'am.
This foolishness.
You kept me awake.
This foolishness has been real. But guys, listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is Jaye. all three, go right around the corner. YouTube, boop, like and follow us there, the J Spot Radio. Go to TikTok, boop, 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 like and follow us there, the J Spot, Jaye, and turn on the notification bells.
Bing.
Guys, also, what I said was as a thank you for us making 100,000 members in the group Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay, you can post your business, product, or service, and we will allow those posts to go through. This weekend, we celebrating making 100,000 members. So all weekend, we are approving free advertisement. 100,000 people.
You better get
your eyes on
get
your.
it.
Listen, now if you want to advertise with the J Spot, you want your business, product, or service to be mentioned live on the show, then you can email us at JSpot Inc. and put in the subject line, advertise or promote with the J Spot. And somebody from our team will reach out to you and show you how to get that set up. But again, Jaye Spots Inc. Now speaking of
I-N, in case you can't spell ink, it ain't I-N-K.
Woo, listen. I'm so glad you clarified that. Yes, it's INC. You know, sometimes we got to let the Lord use us however he see fit.
Because, girl, I put ink and they didn't say nothing back to me.
It came back, devil spam, undeliverable. I thought that it's
INC. Funny.
Now you all listen. This final hot topic.
Ooh.
And then we're going to go ahead on into the topic. But I've been meaning to get to this one. It's been, listen.
I'm glad you waited for me. I feel good.
Look, I got to take another sip of this.
Hold on. I see that sip. Let me get a little sip.
This girl she says that she is 24 years old and she has 92 bodies. Good night. Amen. Amen again. And she wants to know, is that too many for a 92? Now, you all, I am hoping that this is some foolishness. I am hoping that this is just for show. I'm really hoping that 92 bodies at 24 years old.
I'm conflicted.
I don't you got more people than you've been on this earth.
I feel like when you say stuff like that, you need to, I guess it doesn't matter. Girl, when did you start giving it up? Because if
90,
I'm going to give her 15, right? So if you started, how old she is?
24.
Okay, I'm going to give her 14. She started having relations since this number is very high. So over the past 10 years, you slept with 92 people.
90 at 24 years old. And all I can think of is just like, oh my God, what happened?
That's 10 people a year.
What happened to her to cause her to be like this? Because to say that this is normal behavior, I refuse to believe that this is normal behavior. I refuse to believe that this is only, oh, she fast and she doing this and she doing, oh, no.
You know, Jay,
no.
For our generation, that's fast talk. For this little generation, I don't really know.
But 92?
But I'm just saying, listen to their music. Listen to what's being put in their ears and what's being said and get them for their money and go do this and go do that. And, you know, they ain't being taught about love and long-term relationships and family. They being taught, get the bag and get the D and leave. That's all their music is about. That's everything that's about them.
Ooh, geez.
So whoever her mother, female role model is, didn't teach her to value her hoo-ha. She didn't teach her that she wasn't a knick-knack that sit on somebody's shelf to play with.
So now listen, so Durrell is saying, not at all, young lady. That's your temple. Do as you want with it. He says she could be in a safe business of porn. Lord Tanae is saying, is she in the Guinness Book of World Records? She hasn't gotten a wink of sleep since she was in pre-K, and that is very sad. Like I'm just like, I cannot 92.
92.
92. Like I said, when I saw that, I'm just like, and she did a little interview and they asked, so this is something verbal. She was like, 92.
At least she knew the number, honey. At least she didn't say, oh, it's been so many, I don't know.
I'm just like, dang. I'm like, I just wanted to hug her and just be like, woo, woo, woo.
And
Like,
she
what's-
probably would have cussed you out. Like, what you
yeah,
touching me
because
for?
baby, because they show be like, all these LBs be hating. Where at least I still have the feeling and the shape
Of
in
my hoo-ha.
It's, that's just.
You know, we whine about how many kids we have. Like, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I got too many kids. At this point, I'd rather have all the kids I have than that many hoo-has. That many?
So I just feel like when I saw that and I saw like, and she said it like she was proud of it, like it's a badge of honor. But for me, I feel like, we as society has failed her. Daryl said that's called body shaming, ain't it? No, body shaming is when they talking about the shape, making fun of the shape of a person's body. That's body shaming,
This
Daryl.
is sexual shaming.
And maybe some people feel like this is women's liberation and things of that nature. But like for me, I feel bad for her. Like I feel like society has failed this young lady, because if she's not in the porn industry, as it was mentioned earlier, then how is this okay? Like and I'm not even saying that it's okay in the porn industry. I'm not saying that, but that's your job.
I got something for you.
I guess.
In my best Jaye voice. According to an online source. Never mind. They didn't take what I said right. I put sexual body count and they gave me serial killer count. Never mind. I didn't have my glasses on. Let me put my glasses on, y'all.
So it's
I'm
just
about to give y'all the roll numbers.
When you it's like this is high, and for me, this says that this is a problem.
I don't know if society failed her, because society has nothing to do with how many people I sleep with. I can sleep with how many people I want to sleep with. Now, I will say for a young lady like us and how we carry ourselves, that is a very high number at 24. So if you think about it, over the next 10 years, are you going to double that?
But see, the thing is, if we go back to what you just said, though, as far as the music and the videos and things of that nature, having, some type of responsibility for the way that young ladies look at sex, they view sexuality, all of that plays a role in it. And I think that we just have to, we got to do better. You all, if fathers, if you are not in your daughters' lives, if at all possible,
get in there.
Look, I mean, trusted uncles, listen, we got to get this village back. We have to, because there's no way that this is acceptable and you're wearing it as a badge of honor. There's no way that this is acceptable. So Lordinay is saying, I don't know 92 people, period. She is a lunatic when it comes to having sex. She is a hood porn star. Man. A 40 and a blunt is all she really wants. Slow down. And I can definitely understand that sentiment. But again, that's why I feel like, society has failed this young lady. And we as, the older generation, because we're older, because she's 24, so we are failing them. And it's like, if we allow them, it's like the housewives and all of this, my conversation, I would be considered a hater, because I am not promoting all of the foolery that is going on, even though I'm just trying to protect you and trying to help you to, salvage what's left of your South Virginia. Listen, if you want to let these people run through there like a wrecking ball, then it's yours to do with whatever it is that you want to do with it. Like Sexy Red told you, when you start smelling that stench, go to the doctor and figure out what's wrong with it. Now, that's just from me to you. So no hater over here, just trying to help you make better decisions and take better care of yourselves. But ma'am, 92 for 24, 92 period is just It's too much. But
In
that's
the
just
years of my life, I don't even know if I've made 10%. Oh, I'm gonna be quiet.
92. So
92.
we just
She's
gotta
just a baby.
do better. Do better. And I'm just like, if you say 92 people, I'm like, God, I don't even want to know how many. Whew, that's just that. But speaking of 92, that would kind of influence our topic for tonight.
She ain't doing
How
that.
important is marriage today? I'm like, could she even be considering marriage at any point in her life, being 24 and having 92 men or 92 bodies? May the Kegel gods be with you. That's what I would say. May the Kegel gods, the apple cider vinegar, and all of this other stuff, may all of that be with you. But again, it was too much. And I'm like, I just felt like, listen, you need a hug. You need a hug. Durrell is saying, I think the numbers shouldn't matter if it was done safely. I don't believe fathers can stop a young lady from doing what she feels. What about the good mother that was there to raise her? True, but what if the mother wasn't good? What if the mother was out there twerking and doing whatever, God knows what else, and she's just doing what she's learned? And my sister Leah said, she just said it out loud. A lot of women have more bodies, but wouldn't dare say anything because I totally believe in what you just said, Lee. The bodies, listen, that whole body count, I think that whole conversation just needs to be dropped,
I
because
would have never imagined somebody having slept with 100 people in a lifetime.
they getting it.
That's
Like,
a lot of soul change in it.
that's a lot of
And
exchanging
I
of
only say that because
bacteria.
I'm like a long-term relationship person. So it's like the numbers is low because I'm always in a relationship.
Man,
but
speaking of relationships, how important is marriage today? Now, let's just get this. Listen, according to an online source and Webster's Dictionary, marriage is the state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. So listen, y'all can have been together. This is wifey. Listen, do you have the contract to say it? Because if you don't have the contract, or like a lot of us like to say, that little piece of paper means absolutely nothing, okay? It means absolutely nothing. But today, in 2024, is marriage even important today? Like, is the institute of value, the institute of marriage, is that still being instilled into our young people that are coming up? If you reach 30 and over, 30 plus, is marriage still important to you in today's society? What do you think about that, Lady Lotus? Is marriage still important today, in your opinion? And if so, why or why not?
I think it's still, I don't know, this one hard. I think it's still important, but I've been battling these feelings and these questions because younger Keisha or younger Lady Lotus didn't really care about that contractual part of it, because I always felt like it was just the government way of being in our business, and you I got to sign legal documents for this and this and this and that. And then being in the age that I am now and learning so much more about finances and money, we do better not having this contract, because they done messed us up trying to even be a family in that way. But the little girl in me, that teenager in me, that Disney ruined me, I want my wedding. I want my dress. And it's like battling that desire. Do I just want it because society and the world say I'm supposed to do it? Especially for people who have been in long-term relationships. We live together. We're faithful to each other. Do we really need this piece of paper? Now, as far as today go, I think it's a circle thing. I see a lot of young people getting engaged and getting married and doing their thing. But then you see this whole sexy red side of, I don't want to keep using this little girl name, but y'all know them little kids over there. I don't think they
Them
care
new
about the new news. What Uncle Ruckus say, don't trust them new ninjas over yonder. Them new ninjas over yonder, I don't think marriage is a part of their vocabulary. Monogamy is a part of their no.
Hey, Mama Marie, how you doing? Hey, Bobby, he's saying, what it do? How you doing? Listen, when I think of marriage today, I think that it's still important. It's still very much so important to me. I think that it's very important, but I think that we have to just separate the thought of the marriage versus the actual wedding day. And so I think my views have changed on the wedding day. And now, like, I more so focus on the contractual obligation. Exactly. Like now, like I've always loved marriage and the ideal of marriage. I don't know if I was always, hopelessly romantic in the planning the wedding part. We'll definitely plan another wedding, and hopefully this time I make it down the aisle.
I'm not.
Listen,
I am not.
I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Hopefully this time I'm gonna make it down the aisle. I'm like digging my potatoes, like jumping double dutch. I'm gonna go in. Let me see. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead on and turn
the rope
around.
Gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me.
Child, I almost jumped in, but I didn't. I was like, woo, child, I almost did. But this time,
should have snatched me up out that rope.
This time. I'm not going to.
You should have just grabbed me like, nope, not today, friend. That's what you should have did.
No.
I forgive you.
But so this time, looking forward, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go forward, because I'm not going to be in a position
this time don't snatch me out either.
So see, we both have the experiences with it, but now, like I say, more so now it's the contractual part of it that's so important. But we can't just reduce marriage to a small piece of paper, because again, it's so many different aspects of it. Listen, marriage is important for wealth building, for passing on generational wealth. Listen, the tax benefits, listen, you can double the money, double the spending power, double the building power if you're partnered with the right person. And then also you got to think about this. If something happens to you, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters, you gonna call your mama and them? Who is your emergency? Listen, everything is real. 30 plus. Who's your emergency contact? Who are you gonna call if something happens to you? Madinam not trying to keep taking care of you. Madinam tired.
I ain't got no basement.
You playing the streets, you playing around and all this other foolery. Now you done got up here. Now this whole left side don't win. Now who gonna help you pull your slacks up, or who gonna wash your hair and all this? Listen, we have to stop thinking that marriage is just, it's just a piece of paper. What about companionship? What about having a friend? What about having a confidant? So yeah, it's so much stuff going on today. We got all of this. Hey, Cleo, we got all of this going on. Well, nobody trusts this person. Nobody this and that. Yeah, we got all of that. But it's so many good features that is not being promoted to us. Everybody else is getting married. Ask yourself that. Why is everybody else getting married but Black people? We the only ones out here want to do the clown and do all this other foolishness. Listen, you better wonder and recognize why they want to keep us separate opposed to bringing us together. So is marriage still important today? Very much so. Guys, listen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also, follow us on Instagram at the J Spot, and Jay is spelled
Jaye
for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe our channel, the J Spot Radio. Also, go to TikTok and like and follow us there, the J Spot, Jaye.
Turn
on the notification bells, guys. Boop, boop, boop.